Hey guys, just before we get to today's clip, just a quick reminder for all Serie A fans in the UK and Ireland, you can now stream every single match live on OneFootball. No matter which team you're backing, OneFootball's got you covered. You can watch on via the OneFootball app on your phone or connected TVs from Apple TV, Google TV, Samsung, LG, and Fire TV, or on the website tv.onefootball. And what's even better is that you can choose how you watch it. You can grab a team or a season pass to watch all the matches until the end of the season, or just the ones from your favourite club. There's also a match day pass for £9.99 to watch all the weekend's games, or a single match on pay-per-view for £4.99. And yeah, if you missed a live game, you'll still get access to all the match highlights too. So if Serie A is your thing, OneFootball is where it's at. We'll have a link in the description of the episode for you to buy your preferred stream.
Welcome to the Italian Football Podcast.
The top four races is absolutely insane, and we can now include Atalanta in that top four race. If you take from third place Atalanta with 58 points, you can go down to Fiorentina in eighth on 51. So there's 7 points, third to eighth. Milan on 47 points, so maybe a little bit out of it, but we can discuss them as well. Are Roma now favourites to get into that top four at the end of the season? How do you see the top four race playing out now?
It's such a difficult thing to say, but I mean, the only thing I look at is the number of who are they playing. And so I look at Atalanta. They play Lazio, Bologna, Milan, Lecce, Monza, Roma, Genoa, Parma. You look at Bologna, very difficult run as well. They've got Napoli, Atalanta, Inter, Udinese, Juve, Milan, Fiorentina, Genoa. Juve, Roma, Lecce, Parma, Monza, Bologna, Lazio, Udinese, Venezia. Roma, pretty difficult, tough run into. They got Juve, the Rome derby, Verona, Inter, Fiorentina, Atalanta, Milan, Torino. Fiorentina, they've got Milan, Parma, Cagliari, Empoli, Roma, Venezia, Bologna, Udinese. Judging on that run-in, I think Juventus are safe. I think Juventus will finish third. Then, where we are, I think it's neck and neck between. And Lazio, of course, they play Torino tonight as we're recording this. Then they have Atalanta, the Rome derby, and then of course Bodo Glimt in the Europa League. But then they have Genoa, Parma, Empoli, Inter, Juve, Lecce. As things stand right now, if I look at these games that have got let, I think Juventus finished third. I think if Lazio win tonight against Torino, I think they finish fourth, neck and neck between Bologna and Roma. The three of them separated by 2 points, maybe. But I'd give Lazio the edge just now, because and I know, well, what about Atalanta? Yeah, but Atalanta's form and the schedule they've got, it wouldn't surprise me if they finished like 6th, 7th this season. Like, honestly, I think it's a bit of the wheels are coming off situation there, if I'm honest. But it won't be. It will be very tight. But I think Juve are safe, and I think for me the favourites right now, I'd say Lazio ahead of Bologna, Roma, Atalanta, Fiorentina as well there. But it's difficult. But yeah, the like I said, Juve third, and then I'd say Lazio right now.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, look, if we have to rule someone out, first of all, let's
Milan.
rule someone out. Let's say Milan. Milan, I think we have to rule out. They've got 47 points, fourth place. They're 9 points. The idea of making up 9 points in 8 games, Milan are pretty much going to have to win all 8 games, or maybe 7 of those 8 games. But in addition, they've got so many teams above them. They're also going to have to bank on somebody above them not going on a run. Do you know what I mean? You'd think at least one of these teams above Milan will go on a run, won't they? And if that happens, then it's goodbye Milan. So I think if we're putting it down to pure probability, we have to rule out Milan. So I'm ruling out Milan now.
Yeah,
It's too much. Then you've got Fiorentina, who, they're 51 points. They're 7 points off Atalanta. They're 5 points off Bologna, 4 points off Juventus. So they've got the points to make up. They've also got Conference League, which is going to take something out of them as well. They're also probably on paper maybe the weakest out of the teams. Maybe Bologna could argue against that. If we look at their schedule after Milan this weekend, they've actually got probably along with Juventus, they've got the best schedule.
They do.
So they've got Parma at home, Cagliari away, Empoli at home, Venezia away, Udinese away, and then their tough games are Milan away this weekend. They've got Roma away, and they've got Bologna at home. But all in all, along with Juventus, I think Fiorentina have got the best run in. But I just think that I'm going to rule out Fiorentina because I think that there's the points, there's the schedule, and there's also just the overall quality compared to the others. I'm probably going to rule out Fiorentina. So I think it becomes basically a battle out of 5 teams for these last 2 spots: Atalanta, Bologna, Juventus, Roma, and Lazio. That's how I say it. I think it's very hard to call still when there's 8 games left. That I don't want to say for sure. I think I can probably give a better answer in a few weeks. The head-to-heads are going to play a big role in this as well. But also winning the games you should win. And you look at these teams, and at the moment, the only teams that are really winning the games that they should be winning are Bologna and Roma. They're beating the teams that they should be beating. Whereas Juventus, even though they've got an Atalanta, even though Juventus have got a pretty good schedule, and Atalanta, probably half of the games are good and half of them are difficult. I don't trust Atalanta or Juventus to even beat the small teams right now. Obviously, Juventus, will see would that change with Tudor, but Juventus under Motta definitely would not trust to even beat the small teams because they haven't barely been beating the small teams as well. So that doesn't make it a guarantee either. And that's what makes it really, really difficult.
No, it's also because it's so tight. Like for me, I look at it basically. Also, you have to take into consideration Roma are out of Europe. Bologna are out of Europe. Milan have the Coppa Italia. Fiorentina are still in Europe. Lazio are still in Europe. Atalanta are out. So for me, I think Juventus will finish third. I think that's, given that where we are in the season, the games left, they have enough quality to see off a majority of those games. And where they are also in the league, I think they should probably finish third. So it leaves that 4th spot. Well, Fiorentina for the reasons you outlined and Milan for the reasons you outlined, I agree. So it's Atalanta, Lazio, Bologna, Roma. Lazio have the Europa League, yes. But I also think that they've for me, that game against Torino is a little bit key. Can they pull off a win there? That shows to me that they've kind of recovered. Bologna have an incredibly difficult run left. Like, they probably have the most difficult run.
I think Roma have the most difficult run.
No, I think Bologna have a worse one. They've got Napoli, they've got Inter.
Well, Roma have got, I'll read out their running. They've got Juventus at home, Lazio in the derby, then they've got Verona at home, but then they've got Inter away, Fiorentina at home, Atalanta away, Milan at home, Torino away.
Torino.
I mean, I think that's
grueling,
an insane run-in, that is. But then they've won 7 in a row and they're unbeaten in 2025. So how much do you play into form? It's so hard. I can't really call it at the moment. I just think if you're going by running, then you probably say Juventus. I would agree with you on Juventus, but then they have to win these games, and they're not playing well.
I'd say that's what I'm saying. Like, based on running and everything, I'd still think that Juventus third, Lazio 4th, neck and neck.
I have to say one thing though.
Bologna
I don't like with Atalanta. We have to take into account that Atalanta also have the points advantage, and that is important when so many of these teams have hard run-ins. Atalanta are on 58 points. Now that's okay. That's only 2 points above Bologna and only 3 points above Juventus, but it's 6 points ahead of Roma. So Roma need to make up that 6 points with that ridiculously hard running. That's still a lot of points to make up. Do you know what I mean? When there's only 8 games left. I think the Atalanta have still got a good cushion there as well. But I'm going to be a cop out here and say it's still too early to call. That's what I'm going to say.
Of course, it's
too early to call. It's too early
to call. But if you're asking me what I think Juventus will finish third, and I just think Lazio will edge out Bologna and Atalanta for 4th, depending on how it goes in Europe for the Italian teams, because the 5th spot could also be a Champions League. positions. We don't know that.
It's unlikely, but
Yeah, it is
I would
unlikely,
hope
but it's
it
still
is.
possible. No, I mean, if Lazio get to Lazio can get if Lazio, Fiorentina, and Inter go to at least the final, that should definitely put the Italian teams in a good position. But so we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, if you're asking me what I hope happens, look, I hope Lazio win the Europa League and finish outside of the top 5, because that means 6 teams in the 6
I
Serie
mean,
A
that's
teams in
been
the
really,
Champions League.
really, that's really asking to win the lottery.
And I hope Fiorentina finish out of the top 7 and win the Conference League, because then they'll be another extra team in the Europa League for Italy.
Now you are
I
asking
want
for a
as many teams as possible in Europe next season. I want half the Serie A in Europe. So that's my
last season. Remember, you had Ivan Juric's Torino in Europe.
I want everyone. I want Lecce in Europe.
Yeah, that would be fun.